Jay, what have you been playing past week?
Week or month?
Past month, I've been playing mainly 3 games. The highest of which is Final Fantasy 14, the online game. Everybody play. Also, I've been playing again Skyrim.
Yay.
And I have always been playing Civilization 6.
Oh, wow.
So those have been my 3 main focuses this past month.
I've never played a Civ game. I would imagine it's similar to like, I don't know. I could be way off with this. Just shooting fish in a barrel here.
Doggies are on our end, by the way.
Similar to something like SimCity?
Yeah, it's
right?
Similar to SimCity, only more on a world scale.
Cool.
So basically with that game, on a very quick summary of it, you take one of, I think it's like 32 different nations, going China, Japan, United States, even like ancient civilizations like Khmer and things like that.
Cool.
Each one of them has a different boon or bonus to them, or some type of military unit. You pick a spot on the land and you start building your cities. You have districts that you can build and different things that have benefits towards your cities.
That must be so like
it's
very
relaxing.
Time consuming.
It's relaxing.
I'm thinking relaxing.
It's relaxing.
Yeah.
It's very time consuming,
Yeah.
but it's also very in depth. If you're into a strategy game, especially when it has to do with world building, this is a game to play.
Cool. That's awesome.
How do you feel that Fire Emblem won over that? Was it even a nominee?
Okay. See, now here's the thing. I love the Fire Emblem series. I haven't played the last 2. I did see, I was watching your stream for a while when you were playing Fire Emblem, and it looks fantastic. Reminded me a little bit of like Dragon Age with your choices and,
totally.
Bethesda games in general. And I liked it, but I kind of feel as if simulation games are not really getting the credit they deserve. Like you have games like Tropico, you have games
They're
like
old,
SimCity.
man. Civilization style games have been around for a really long time.
And I don't think, except for Civilization 4 with its music, I don't think they won any awards, which is kind of upsetting because when you look at the gameplay, it's fantastic. It's very in depth, it's detailed, and that's something that anybody I feel worth their salt would like in a game. So was I a little upset? Yeah. But also at the same time, I kind of feel like Fire Emblem in and of itself is just an amazing series. I played Fire Emblem 1 through 3, and each one of those is an amazing game.
Yeah.
But I was kind of upset that, and again, I'm the Final Fantasy guy, that Shadowbringers did not win for best multiplayer. But
People's Choice thought it would.
Yeah, People's Choice did think it would, but other games kind of got outvoted for it because I went on to what was it, IGN, and I voted there and did things like that. But yeah, definitely Civilization is worth checking out if you really like a strategy game, if you want to have something that you can just like sit back and relax on your own time and just figure out what you're doing in a game that you have complete influence over.
That's cool.
How about you, Matt?
What have I been playing? Well, I had the last 2 weeks of December off, and that's when I really started kicking things in the 12th gear. It's a Rick and Morty reference. Let's see. What did I play then? I was playing Cuphead. I beat Cuphead for the first time. Wow. That was intense.
Did
Was it intense?
did you shit your pants?
I was
Pretty much.
from rage. Yeah. I got like in the first 2 aisles in the game, I was like, all right, yeah, this is easy. And then you hit like the dragon. His name is Grim Matchstick, and everybody I talk to always is like stops at that and can't really proceed past it because it's tough. I tried playing it 2-player a while back with Ben, and we couldn't beat it. Like I think the whole time we were there, the whole time I was there, we couldn't get through it.
Did you find it harder with a second player?
Yes, for sure. It's one of those games. It's like Contra. They throw more shit at you. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
But solo, I played it. I think it was on sale at Target. I bought it digital. Installed it. Got right to it. I ran through like the first aisle. Reached Grim Matchstick. Had a really hard time. I think it was him when I beat him was the first time I ever yelled playing that game.
What? Was
Not
it
ashamed to say it. We all do
Was
it.
it in sheer joy?
Yes, it was out
Okay.
of joy. Yeah, I was
Okay.
like so relieved that I had overcome that. And then it's like once you reach the end of that game, King Dice and the Devil, it's like everything before that just seems so easy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I can't believe like the difficulty spike was absolutely insane. And I'm not one. I play games to enjoy them. I don't play them for the difficulty or like to reach any sort of goal other than completing the story, and then maybe depending on what it is, some post game stuff. Like now, my goal in that game, so I'm taking a long break from it, is to go back and try to unlock the black and white mode.
Yeah.
And that's there's 6 passive levels, which means you get through the entire level without firing anything. Just make it to the end. 6 run and gun levels that you have to do in that style without. It's just running, no gunning, essentially. And once you beat all 6, you unlock that new color filter, which removes all color, and it's black and white. So it's already styled like a 1930s, show. So it's even more true with that. Aside from that, I beat Luigi's Mansion. Right now, I played through the Evo Land, the first one, which is a really fun RPG.
I'm unfamiliar with that game.
Really, really fun. You'd love it.
Okay.
You would really love it. So I know you're into RPGs and stuff.
Yep.
Basically, it starts off like an 8-bit game. And you walk up to like a treasure chest, unlock the treasure chest, you get an upgrade, and the graphics get upgraded, and then eventually sound gets upgraded. And then eventually it's going from an 8-bit game or like a piss green Game Boy screen color palette all the way up to like full blown graphics.
Yeah.
It's like a 4 or 5 hour game. Straight to the point. The inspiration behind it is super, super obvious. And then I started part 2 right after that and looked up online like how long it takes to beat it. Part 1 was like 4 or 5 hours. The second game 17 to 22 hours. I'm like, it's a little longer than I thought, but I'm guessing they just got more of a budget.
Is it an indie game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember who the developer is, but I wound up getting a physical cartridge that has both games on it. I got it for the Switch, but it's available on like every digital shop. What else did I play? Been playing Darksiders 2 on the Switch, trying to get through that. A lot of games I play are on the Switch. Beat Control also for PS4. Throughout that time frame, what a mind fuck that game is. The red makes you crazy. All of the red in the game makes you crazy because it's so much, and that's just one of those colors that's so triggering. I guess.
I think
you know
that's
what I mean?
the design concept
Yeah,
behind
for
that.
sure. For
It's
damn
supposed to-
sure.
It's supposed to anger you,
man.
and it's not
So
raising the
twisted,
difficulty.
man.
But
No,
for you,
no.
you're getting frustrated.
It's raising
because
my
of it.
goddamn difficulty.
Also, like, I mean, I think everyone at this table has impaired vision. I'm wearing contact lenses.
Yeah.
I actually
Yep.
probably have
Totally.
worse vision than both of them combined.
It's
But-
like I basically equate that to the Virtual Boy. You know how that gives you a headache at a certain point. It's just all red all the time.
Yeah.
At a certain point in that
yeah,
game,
you're
it's
like
just like,
fighting.
oh
You're
my
like,
god.
oh my god, it's
Yeah.
too red.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna take a break. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna watch something. I'll get back to it tomorrow.
It's only red when you're about to die, but then at the very end of the game,
Yeah.
it has that red filter on for the whole time, and it's the hardest part of the game.
Oh.
If you're not doing end game stuff, which
Yeah.
is its own thing.
Yeah.
And
So it's like you're always in danger.
always in
what it
danger.
feels like, yeah.
Red, and then the enemies have red shields, and it's just bad.
We just need a
It's
nice.
a good game, but that was bad.
We just need a nice Robin's Egg Blue
Yeah,
to calm the mood. you know?
exactly. Yeah.
It kind of everything changed. Like at the very very end of the game, like all the color went back to normal. I was like, oh my god, that's more rewarding than beating the actual game, you
Yeah.
know, and reaching the story's end. It's like, oh, thank goodness, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it felt good.
What about you, D?
Oh, so for the month I've been playing a lot. I platinumed Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Nice.
I platinum A Plague Tale Innocence. I platinum Far Cry 5. Did I platinum anything else? Control.
Yep.
I think that's all I can remember. And I wrote full reviews on my page, which, shameless plug, Assassina-San.
That was on the no
on
list. We're not
Facebook.
plugging ourselves. No,
I'm
I'm
plugging myself. I write full reviews, and I don't want to talk about all the games that I'm playing because we can be here forever. But definitely recommend A Plague Tale, Control, and what's the other one I said?
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
Whatever. The one that's not Far Cry, New Dawn. The one that Far Cry New Dawn's the only one that I didn't really enjoy as much. Oh, Star Wars, duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was great.
But the game I've been most recently playing, which I said it was a good segue from when we talked about Sekiro being Game of the Year, is Sekiro. Because when I got this game, it was when it first released, because I'm a big From Software fan, as you can see demonstrated by the sun, which
I thought
is...
it was just the sun on your shirt.
No, it's the sun from Dark Souls. Praise it.
Praise that sun.
I started playing it, but for some reason this year was just full of so many games. Like it was just jam packed. Like
and man, those Black Friday deals didn't make it any easier.
Yeah, so Steam sales.
Yeah,
Steam sales.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And Sekiro is the kind of game that you need to sit down and dedicate time to, because if you step away from it, you got to learn the combat all over again. And each enemy, each boss has their own style of combat. So it's not like, oh, okay, I know how to Makiri counter, I know how to parry, I know how to dodge, I know how to deflect. I'm gonna succeed against all the enemies. No, that'll help you get through a lot, but each enemy, each boss especially, has their own style of fighting. Like some have like flurry attacks, which is really fast that you could just bing, 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 deflect. Others have a little more heavy and slow, like the Shinobi Owl that I just beat today. And I freaking screamed at Junior, who's also part of the group, and our neighbor heard me scream.
I wasn't home for that. I wasn't home for that. I'm sure the cats, our cats, weren't too happy.
Yeah, he's like really long range sword and slow, but like not slow enough where you could just always get an opening. Like he has very rare openings. Having to adapt to each different boss type is hard if that's not the only game you're playing. Like I took a break from it and went back and I was like, shit, I gotta go train. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
There was a video that I saw recently of a monkey boss. It's like this white gorilla looking thing.
Yeah, the Guardian Ape.
Yeah, Guardian Ape. And so it has this scream that has almost no warning, and if you're within it and it's a huge radius, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's insta-kill. But then after you defeat it, it just grabs its head and just keeps attacking you.
Yeah, so
that I thought
when
was
she told me about that,
crazy.
you told me about that yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
When you told me about that, I was like, oh, it wasn't the end. You're like, yeah, I'm in the second phase. I just come home last night. You're like, yeah, I'm in the second phase. I'm gonna beat him. I was like, all right, well, good luck. Go ahead, do it. And then, not even 2 minutes later, no. He took his hat off. I was like, what?
Yeah, like it's a really hard boss fight, and usually when bosses have two phases, you'll see two red dots up top of their health bar, but this one had one red. So when I got to the end and I finally beat him, which was not easy at first, I was like, yes, and I had victory. And then it was like,
so great.
all of a sudden he starts reanimating, and then like he grabs his head and he grabs his sword, and then I gotta fight him, and that's when he starts doing the one-hit kill move. It's called terror, where like it's like blood that spews out of him if you're too close, and then your terror builds up, so you have to take like some kind of antidote to get rid of it or to bring it down, so that it doesn't one-hit kill you. And he also he throws shit at you, which was also in the first phase. He farts on you, which causes poison damage. Like it's crazy. And when I finally beat that boss once again, I yelled and I screamed in just like pure joy and rage. And
nice.
There's not really many games that can do that for me. I think me and Matt were saying like his Cuphead is to my like Dark Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne.
I can't play games like that. I don't have the iron will that other people have to be able to do that. It's not enjoyable for me. It's just not enjoyable.
Not even like the low end, like Bloodborne.
Can't.
No,
I couldn't get into it. Like I knew she was a fan of all that stuff, and I was like, I admired her for that because I'm like, I don't play that. I don't find any enjoyment in that. But that's the great thing about video games, like you don't have to play every single one of them. So like, Death Stranding.
Yeah. I
bought it. Played through not even half of it. I saw her continuing on, and I was like, all right, this isn't a game; it's an experience, and I'm okay with experiencing it secondhand. Right.
Okay.
So I sold it. She played through it. I got the entire story. I think I don't understand it, but I saw the whole story play out through watching her play, like playing my games or whatever, or like let's say she's traversing the world and reaches a story part, like cinematic part. I mean, I'd pause my game and watch it. So I was like, okay, I was able to ingest all that stuff, and I felt okay selling it. I didn't get all the money back, obviously, but. Yeah. It was okay for me. So like when I watch her play games like this, it's really like I find myself being more of a spectator with games like that, more difficult games like that. To me, Death Stranding was only difficult because it just takes so long to get from A to B.
Okay.
And then they throw in like a C and a D in there and stuff. And watching her play like Soul, like you played through Dark Souls recently, right?
Dark Souls 1 remaster.
Right, part 1, the remaster, right. So I watched you play some of that. I've been watching you play Sekiro, and you saw me go through Cuphead. I thought I would get through that game much quicker, but certain games, like I love action games. I very recently got into RPGs and stuff. More into action games. I love first-person shooters. I'm really looking forward to one game in particular coming out this year. Action games like Star Wars was phenomenal. Star Wars was so great, and I love the whole Star Wars universe and everything. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And I love Legend of Zelda. Like Link's Awakening was a lot of fun and stuff like that. You still haven't beaten that. We gotta get
I'm
you.
like 2 dungeons away.
We gotta get you on that. Yeah, 2 dungeons away from the fish, and then that's a lot of fun. Yeah, that's I give you a lot of credit for the games that you play. I really, really do. And the stress is very. It's like not like you don't get mad for no reason.
Yeah.
When you play stuff.
I mean, the thing about Sekiro is like I know why I die. I understand it, and so it motivates me to like not make that mistake again. Whereas there's some games that are hard and they're just dumb. Like how did I even die right now? Like what even hit me? What did I do wrong? Whereas all the Soul games, it's very clear what you did wrong, where you can go back and not make that mistake again, and that's why I'm so drawn to them. But like Control, I fought Moth 1, which was one of the end game bosses, and I had no idea how I died, so I couldn't correct it, and it pissed me off.
That was nuts. That
made
I
me
totally
rage
understood
because I didn't know what was going on. Eventually, I figured it out, and it was fine. But I had to like look up what was killing me in order to do that, and I don't like to do that.
And I kind of feel like the simple fact that you would have to do that. The game in itself is not explaining to you what the mechanic is that is required in order to beat it. And does that speak to when you compare something like Sekiro to Control? Do you think that is a developer's issue when creating that game? Or were they trying to create something where it's a more realistic aspect? Because I've seen conversations on NYCGS as well as like other gaming websites where a lot of people are just like, yeah, but that's the realism of the game. Like you're not gonna have a boss go and say like, do this before it goes and charges. It's just gonna attack you. Yeah. So what do you feel is the issue there when it comes to a non-telegraphed mechanic, and there's nothing to allow you to figure out the mechanic, as compared to Sekiro, which has those things in relative repetition, and you can figure out and understand why you made a mistake.
Forever.
Yeah, I think the combat is just so polished that you can see what's happening. There's no guessing. There's no like red screens to impair your vision like there is in Control, where like you don't know that something's actually hitting you from the ceiling or the ground. I'm okay with games not telling me what's coming, what the mechanic is, what I should be doing against this boss. Sekiro and all the Souls games do that a lot, but I just need it to be clear that this is happening. It is a developer's issue when you have someone creating a game that's supposed to be challenging or unforgiving, but they don't do it in a way that you can learn from your mistakes. And that's the problem for me. Like don't create a game just to be hard. Yeah. Like not every game needs to be hard. Like I'm fine with playing a very chill game. Like A Plague Tale was extremely easy. Yep. Or even Star Wars. Like you could bump it down to story and still have a good time with it. But not every game needs to be hard. And when games try to shoehorn in and they're not from software, it just doesn't come out as good sometimes.